Hello everyone, this is Benjamin here and welcome to the LCVP to LCVP one-to-one transition guideline. So I'm going to explain to you how oGV's transition is going to be, especially for functionals part. Okay, so as you can see in here, this is all the topic that needs to be transited for oGV specifically. And as you can see that there is overview of department, better, faster, and basically it's better and faster. There's no profitable in here. It will be in FL, but also you should know about this. But in this transition, focuses on the overview of oGV better in order to ensure the product's quality and also to ensure things are faster in terms of process times and also customer centricity. Okay, so starting from the overview, there are four main topics in here. So clarity of oGV. So it's important for you to transit the importance of exchange in Isaac. Why does Isaac does exchange? And then to make sure that VPs have a very clear understanding of global volunteer, its definition, value proposition, the relevance, the process, the cost, the services that we provide, etc., and personally feel connected to it. Why is this two thing important? Is because that's actually the main thing, right? As the product head, the most important thing is that you personally feel connected to the product, and you have to know what are things that you are selling and what is the main value that you're doing here. Like even though new EP get elected, they do not know much about this product or they have never gone for exchange before, at least they must understand the overall concept of this thing and how does this thing bring benefits to people, right? The third thing, to ensure VP feels connected with the purpose of GV and how does it contribute to LC, university, and Malaysia as a whole. And so to improve understanding of the basics about oGV in terms of the roles and responsibilities. Yeah, so these are the basic clarity of oGV, and then relevance of oGV to LC and Malaysia to ensure that VP feels connected with the purpose of GV and how does it's the same thing basically how does it contribute to it, and then something that's only you know, which is the oGV's history in the LC. So make sure that you are able to at least cover 2 to 3 terms back what is the main process or the main progress of oGV in the LC for the past 3 terms so that they get to know a simple picture. Okay, share them in terms of what went well, even better if, and what else can be improved. Yeah, so VP experience sharing is also the same thing in your term itself. What are the top 3 strengths? What are the top 3 areas of improvements in the LCs? And what are your experience that you can share to them? And also what are some special advices that you like to give them? Okay, and then in terms of better, I think the most important thing of better here is basically on MOS. Yeah, so MOS of oGV, which is number of complete. So as you know that one of the most important topic in complete is basically 16 standards. Yeah, so how can 16 standards, what is every single thing in standards? And then also what is the tools that we use to track 16 standards nowadays? So you know that we have a standards tracker. So make sure that that tracker is also translated to your elect. Okay, so that they are already very clear about this. And then in terms of faster, there are 4 things: expand knowledge and management. So in terms of XPA, there are 2 parts, I guess. One part is on how do they use the analytics. So how can they track number of applicant, number of accepted, number of approved, number of even signups, how they use people analytics, and also application analytics, NPS analytics, E2E analytics. All this is something that they should need to know. Yeah. And also another part of XPA, which is how can they click every single stages. Yeah, for example, EPs applied to a project, their status will be an applied. Yeah, so how can they assign EP manager? Right after that, once EP had paid, how can they click paid, these kind of things. Yeah, so this kind of stuff is what they need to know as well. Okay, and then the second part, GV timeline understanding and also management. So to make sure that VPs are aware and be prepared based on the global GV timeline, know their picks and understand their focus and able to plan according to it. Okay, it's also very, very important. I think this is something that has been educated to everyone during LC visit, which is on the timeline itself. So yeah, how can we make sure that we are following the global timeline? We are following the peak all the time. So this is something very, very important, especially for summer peak. Your elect needs to know. Okay, performance tracking tools for transition. So you know that currently you are using maybe you have your LC tools, which is how you do tracking, how you do PA, how you do one-to-one, how you do EB meeting, how you do team meeting, all this kind of stuff is what you should let the elects know as well. Whether or not they are going to revamp it, they're going to amend it, or they're going to continue using it, they should be knowing how are you using them. So especially when they do not come from your department, they need to know what is the procedures or what are the tools that you are using in terms of tracking, in terms of coaching, in terms of any other operations. Okay, and basically the last part, which I think is the most important thing, is to understand the youth customer flow. Okay, so use customer flow, there are a few stuff. There are the four stages. There is attraction, consideration, value delivery, and brand advocacy. And under that, there are every single statuses, right? For example, during attraction, they are mainly strangers and also visitors, right? Then when consideration, they are leads, and then they become customer, and they become advocates, something like that, right? So those are those stuff that you have to explain to them, right? Also, when during attraction, you know that usually there are signups or opens. Then when are they applied? When are they accepted? When are they approved? Like all these single stuff in the youth customer flow is what you have to explain to them. And other than just explain to them like the whole picture of customer flow, it's also very important for them to understand the purpose of having a customer flow, at which it is a process for us to make sure that we deliver customer experience properly, for us to improve our operation, to make sure that the customer really take really get a very good experience out of every single stages. Like we follow up closely, we make sure that they get the what do you call that? they get the they get the support that we should give it to them, and also throughout the whole customer flow process itself is also where that leadership development happens. Yeah, yep. So basically, this is the whole tools for functional transition for oGV. Yeah. So if you see, there actually isn't much topic, but all these are very important to be covered. Okay. So all the best to you in doing transition. Bye.